How good are you at waiting? Some of us stand in front of the microwave tapping our feet. Why is this thing taking so long? I remember when a 3-minute egg took 3 minutes. I learned last week that if a web page takes more than 3 seconds to load, most people won't wait for it. Hello, this is A Gentle Soul, and I am Bill Kemp. Each week I provide a short message that is relevant to where we are in the midst of this epidemic. You would think that the Bible, with a book called Acts, that book would be all about action. But it begins with Jesus telling his disciples to wait. We are told how the first disciples said goodbye to Jesus on top of a hill just east of Jerusalem. And then he went up into heaven. But they had to come down the hill, back into the city, up into the upper room, and there they were to simply wait. It's a lousy way to begin a book. You do not begin a bestseller by having people wait around for something to happen. Being stuck in one place is hard for us. We don't do quarantine happily. Let's get on with it. No. Let's learn to wait. In Acts chapter 1, verse 4, Jesus tells his disciples to wait. 2 verses later, the disciples sound impatient. They say, now has to be the time. Are you going to restore the kingdom of Israel now? Jesus shakes his head. He's ready to leave. It's been a wasted 3 years. He can't seem to teach these guys to wait. In verse 7, he tells them that God has all the time in the world. And then he says that after they are done waiting, they are going to have a special job to do. He says, you will be my witnesses. Now, a good witness only does one thing. They accurately report what they have seen or experienced. The best witnesses, wait for it, aren't doing anything when whatever it is happens. They take themselves out of the equation. They simply observe. They are standing on a street corner and they see 2 cars collide at the intersection. That's the witness you want to put on the stand. Those who are busy driving or getting into the accident make lousy witnesses. When the disciples get back to the upper room, they find Jesus' mother. She's just there waiting. Remember what she did some 30-odd years before this. When Mary is told that her child will be the Messiah and restore God's rule upon this earth, what does she do? Wait for it. She ponders these things in her heart. That sounds to me like waiting. So back in Acts chapter 1, verse 14, we are told how the disciples and the women, including Mary, waited in the upper room and how they spent time praying. I imagine in my mind Mary using this downtime to teach the disciples how to wait. She succeeds where Jesus didn't. They spend time together, the time that they need to spend in order to become effective witnesses. We will never become effective at anything in our lives unless we learn to wait. Developmental psychologists say that this is one of the most important lessons that a parent can teach their child. Those who haven't learned how to wait don't know how to defer pleasure, to put it off. They can't seem to put aside today so that they will be able to have something there tomorrow when they need it. Those who haven't learned to wait make lousy friends. They don't wait for you to tell them what is on your mind. They cut you off. They interrupt you. They offer you advice that you don't ask for. They don't hang around when you need them. They aren't witnesses to the deeper things of life. What has our experience with the coronavirus been all about? It's been about waiting. We have been given a couple months not to act, but simply to be, to pray, to observe, to learn compassion, to see the world, not for what it is so busily doing, but for who we are as human beings when we are made to wait. This has been a test, only a test. How are we doing? Amen. Well, that's the good news. For a text of this message, go to www.billcamp.info. You can also find help for these troubling times at morethantheflu.com. Stay safe.